got your content, you've got your ad up and running. You're probably wondering, how do I tell if it's working? So, it's not an exact science, but Facebook does give you a host of metrics that allow you to tell how well your ad is working for your purposes. So, for the purpose of this, you're going to start in the Campaigns tab and make sure that you have selected the campaigns that you're looking at. For this, we're going to look at our 2 tax brand awareness and video views campaigns. So once those are selected, you're going to want to click over to the Ads tab right here like this, where you'll see a number of metrics, including results, reach, impressions, etc. While Facebook does have several default ones, I highly suggest putting together your own custom set of columns. To do that, you're going to click the Columns button and go down to Customize Columns. Once in Customize Columns, I suggest including the following: results, reach, frequency, impressions, delivery, relevance score, amount spent, cost per 3-second view, which you can find by typing in cost and scrolling down until you find it, cost per 10-second video view, average watch percentage time, and average watch time and average watch percentage. Once all of this is set, you're going to hit Apply. From there, you can scroll here and scroll down to where it has Custom Checked, and you'll be able to hit Save. From there, you can name it. I'm going to call this Sasha's Test Metrics. So it's pretty simple. Just a quick explanation of what some of these things are. Reach is the exact number of people who were reached by your ad. So if you look here at the top one, this means that 41,365 distinct individuals were reached by this ad. Impressions is how many times the ad was shown. If you look over, you'll see that we also have frequency in here. Impressions is just frequency times reach. Pretty simple. The next thing that's important to look at is cost per result. The result it has here is per 3-second video view. That's a pretty good metric if you're using video views as your standard, because 3 seconds is when Facebook starts to count a view, and it's under the view count for each video. There's a range of what counts as a good cost per result. We generally like to see things in the roughly 1 penny range. Anything under that we consider pretty much fantastic. However, things above that can be good too, depending on the size of your audience. Often, the smaller your entire potential audience is, the more it's going to cost per result, just because you have a smaller universe of people that things are going out to. Now, you can see here that most of the ads we ran did pretty well. They've got a pretty low cost per result, some of them getting pretty far under a penny. The other thing you're going to want to look at is relevance score. Relevance score is just a measure of how well your ad performs for the audience that it's been sent to. For a more detailed explanation of the relevance score, you can check in our glossary, but it's important to know that relevance score is one of the most commonly used metrics when discussing the success of an ad. The last thing you want to look at is average watch time and average watch percentage. Again, these aren't exact metrics, but they are pretty useful when thinking about how well your video is doing for an ad. If you look over at video percentage watched, you can see that for something with a much higher relevance score, it tends to have a higher video percentage watched. But as you can see from here, that's not always the case. So there are different metrics you can use depending on what your desired goal is. While we can get a lot more in depth with this, we think that these are some of the most relevant metrics when trying to determine how successful your ad has been. The last thing you want to do is to make sure that you have the proper date range set for your ads, for your metrics. Otherwise, it's not necessarily going to show you all the information you need. So you're going to click up here in this top right-hand corner and make sure that you have the date range set for the entire time that the ad has been running. That's going to give you the most comprehensive metrics, and it's going to make sure that you have all of the data you need. So we definitely encourage you to keep exploring this. Your individual campaign is going to have varying needs based on what you guys are attempting to do. We encourage you to explore and see what else Facebook has to offer.